Happy Bachelor Week for you guys. Alayah is back, the girls are pissed, and Peter still is very confused.
Hey guys, welcome back to our Shared News Weekly Bachelor Recap. I'm your host, Renee Ariel.
And I'm Fiona Zering.
But before we get into things, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can watch all of our weekly updates. And before we get into things, let's go over everything that happened in last night's episode in 60 seconds. On last night's episode of The Bachelor, the girls went to Cleveland and literally no one was excited about it. Victoria F gets the first one-on-one date and Peter flies her to an amusement park and they get serenaded by Victoria's ex-boyfriend, Chase Rice. Peter has no idea and even gets Chase's number to keep in touch. Victoria is so scared to tell him she legit has a breakdown over dinner, but as always, Peter comforts her and reassures her that everything is fine. We then get the largest group date ever with everyone except Kelsey, and the girls play football. Victoria P can't play because of her back, and Peter spends most of his time flirting with her on the sidelines. The other girls are not happy. The teams end up tying, so they all get to go to the after party, which is ruined because Alayah shows up. Then there's an awkward confrontation between Victoria P and Alayah. Alayah gets a rose, and the girls are pissed. Alayah then tells the other girls about Victoria F and Chase Rice. Victoria F is not happy about it, and Peter and Kelsey go on a one-on-one date and have a great time. At the rose ceremony, all the girls share why they're so pissed at Peter, and once again, he doesn't know what to do. The end. Let's get into things. I want to start off with maybe the most awkward one-on-one date of all time. Victoria F and Peter went to an amusement park, flew there, she was scared to fly, and then they rode a bunch of scary rides, but the scariest part of them all was when they were serenaded by Chase Rice, her ex-boyfriend, which we'll get into why I'm using quotations.
Oh my God. First of all, they have promoted this Chase Rice stuff so much that she was nervous to get in the plane. She was afraid to get on the ride. I was like, enough already. When is Chase Rice showing up? Like, I was on literally the edge of my seat waiting for it to be so cringe, and it was.
It really was.
It was so tough.
Because poor Peter, oblivious as always, is dancing the night away. Feels like this could be their song.
Oh.
By the way, Victoria knew all the words, which is another story we will get into, but this was super awkward because we're seeing them having a great time. She genuinely looks like she's having a great time while they're dancing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's like super touchy-feely, but then in every ITM, she's like, I hate this. I don't know what to do. I have to tell him. And she's like crying. And then at the end of the dance, Peter goes up to Chase. And I think she thinks a conversation's happening. Like she's not sure if he's saying anything about her. But really, Peter's just getting the digits.
Here's the thing.
He literally, did you hear Chase go, is that 1B or 2 for Weber? He was getting his number.
Here's the thing. First of all, they had a great date up until this point. Like, she seemed to be really happy. They seemed to be clicking.
They talked about kids.
Which honestly I thought was a little weird, but there's too much other weirdness. We're just gonna breeze past that part. Here's the thing. I really felt for her because during that scenario, not only is it your ex to whatever degree on stage serenading you with a new guy who you're trying to not only convince you really like, but win over when you're competing against other girls, and the added element of a crowd of strangers. Like, I totally understood why she played it off and just like danced with him and did her best to have fun. Had she had some sort of meltdown in the moment and shut it down, I feel like Peter would have had more reason to doubt her being over him. Like, if you're over the guy, like, he's a music artist, just like dance. Like, I feel like she played it off in the same way I would have, which has been like, just do the best you can in the moment and then like try to explain everything later.
Well, let's get into the nitty gritty because I feel like I can't really give you guys my full opinion until we get into what
this is the craziest part.
Chase Rice talked about the episode. He was on an episode of Fits in the Morning, and he talked about how he was really pissed off about all the drama on the episode. And what's very interesting is in the interview, he said, and I quote about Victoria F, "We spent a night together in Charlotte. She's a cool chick from what I know of her. I got no problem with her. I got no problem with him." What he was mostly pissed about is he like became part of the storyline and like he thought he was there to promote music, but they were using him in a little bit of drama.
Right.
But this is what's so weird. She kept, if this is true,
right,
because we don't know, if it's really one night, she was referring to him not as a guy she like was kind of seeing. That would have been more acceptable. She called him an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Again, if she's calling him an ex-boyfriend and he wasn't, and she knows all the words to his song, and they really did spend one night together was she a groupie? Because there was even the storyline of her saying, he didn't want me to go on the show. When did he say that if you guys spent one night together?
Here's the thing. I felt like their conversation, Victoria and Chase's, to me did not seem like the awkward reunion of people who had spent one night together and didn't really know each other. I felt like the way he was saying to her, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, like, I want you to be, like, whatever he was saying to her in the moment, to me, didn't come across as someone who knew her one night and thought she was a cool chick. But again, here's the thing. This could be a very classic case of she's upselling it a little bit because she doesn't want to, on national television, admit to a fling or whatever it was, and he's downselling it a little bit because he's a country music artist who got tricked into being part of Bachelor drama. So I think they both could be saving face a little. Like the truth could lie in between both their stories.
I think their reunion would make sense for someone who, not like a one night stand, but someone who spent a night together in Charlotte, like maybe went to dinner, maybe got drinks, had some heart to hearts. I just think that he didn't seem jealous at all. He didn't seem angry at all. He was like, yeah, this girl, she's cool. I know her. I didn't think she'd go on the show. Like that felt like the vibe. I didn't get an ex-boyfriend vibe because there was no, she broke up with him because she literally said I broke it off because of his lifestyle. Like she made a story.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like
and with everything,
it's just like if there's no way of knowing if it's his story is true or her story is true.
Yeah.
And I didn't get, when I was watching the episode, I didn't get the vibe of she was lying. I just felt like her emotions seemed genuine. She genuinely seemed overwhelmed. I think, to be honest with you, my gut tells me they had a brief fling. She called it a boyfriend to try to make it seem a little classier, perhaps, and he's downplaying it because he got tricked into being on The Bachelor. That's my takeaway.
He's saying they spent one night together. They could have been texting before and then actually spent one night together, but she called it like it's a fling.
But I just like, I feel like I don't have any loyalty to either of them. So like, I'm not gonna completely discount her story because he says they spent one night together. Do you know what I mean?
I'm biased because of everything else that we know has come out about her,
Yeah,
about being a
that's
mistress.
true.
And listen, if you guys read it, you know what I'm talking about. And I do think and hope that'll play out later.
I know, I was gonna say, I've been trying to discount all of that because we haven't seen it play out yet. So I've been like keeping all of that aside from my opinion of her. So I don't know, maybe that would be influencing me more.
And she has a breakdown every episode. So because of those factors, I don't know. I feel like she does tend to overreact a little bit, which is fine. Let me tell you, I don't know how I would act in this setting, but like between how she reacted at the date and then while he was singing, and then how she broke down at dinner, like freaking out about telling. What the weirdest part was, all she was trying to tell Peter is super awkward. I used to date that guy that sang, but she was bawling, and to me that's why. What about that would be weird if it was an ex-boyfriend who you broke up with?
See, I don't know. I think it would have been, in my opinion, if it really had been one night, and perhaps this is just like personal experience, I wouldn't have been sobbing. I do agree with you, she breaks down a lot, and a lot of the time I feel like if she just took a deep breath, she could be having a conversation instead of having a breakdown. So
yeah.
She's definitely the most complicated character, I feel like, this season.
Yeah, I'm still confused
Like
by
to
her
figure
breakdown.
her out mentally, I can't get a read.
I don't understand her breakdown at dinner. I understand why she felt awkward at the concert. The breakdown to me at dinner was a little bit much. You guys, let us know what you think down in the comments.
Yeah, there's so much.
So much happened last night. There was also a pretty crazy group date that I'm so happy once again,
Ooh.
that I wasn't a part of.
Oh
they
my
played
God.
football and
Real football.
Real football. Everyone was on it except for Kelsey because Kelsey later gets the one-on-one. Victoria P can't play, which what happened to her back?
I don't think we know.
Yeah.
I don't think we know. She has a back problem of some kind. We don't know about it.
But then Peter was comforting her like the whole time, which I think the girls were already jealous about that and upset about that because they were literally playing hands-on football or whatever you call it, touch football. I don't know. I don't play
regular
football.
old football. There was no flags involved. This was like tackle football.
I hated it. They looked super cute in their little like jerseys, but like horrible. And then the worst part of it, because there were so many girls on the date, they're like, well, one of us is gonna win, one team, and get the after party, and then they tied. So all 13 of them went to the after party. But plot twist, you know who showed up? Alayah.
Oh.
Alayah came back to clear her name. And you know who wasn't happy about it?
Everyone.
Every girl on the date. This was very confusing because the Victoria P Alayah drama, I just don't understand fully, because when Alayah was like, we are friends, we went to Vegas, I found that a little bit shady on Victoria P's end, because she said that she said 3 hours collectively together, but there's no way y'all spent under 3 hours in Vegas and at the pageant.
Here's the one thing, and it happened so fast, but when Victoria P was talking to Peter, she said something like, yeah, we were in Vegas together. So this is my thing. I did dance competitions, so different from pageants, but like, you travel to different things. I wonder if they were there for a pageant event, or a bunch of pageant girls were invited to attend an event, and she's like, yeah, like, because basically what Alayah's story is, we've texted, like we have text messages, like we went to Vegas together, and I'm like, did you go to Vegas together? Or did you attend an event in Vegas together? Which would kind of make Victoria's P's like, yes, we've done pageants together, like we've known each other. I think I've collectively spent 3 hours with her. Like maybe she spent an hour with her at this event in Las Vegas, because she's standing firm on we're not friends, and Alayah is using very specific instances to justify some like lifelong friendship. And I think that just, it doesn't read to me as genuine from Alayah.
I disagree, because I think it's one thing. Listen, I think they're both a little bit shady. This is the first time I think Victoria P is a little bit shady, and let me explain why. She did the thing that you do when you actually don't have a defense, which is immediately start crying and make it about something else. I hate that defense. It's BS.
She did immediately cry, yeah.
Here's the thing. If she had a solid defense, she would have said it. She didn't. So I think there's a little bit of shadiness at both ends. Do I think Alayah is like the most genuine person, non-fake, and like super actually very nice to everyone? No. But do I think Victoria P played a little bit of the victim card and tried really making it seem like Alayah was like this mean girl that intimidates her? Yes.
I agree. Because I think she played the victim card, but I really think the reason she sort of played it is because I think basically Victoria P is trying to say, like, I fundamentally don't really like her. Like, have we spent time together? Yes. Was I friendly to her in life? Yes. Do I consider us friends? No. I was honest with you about that. And I think that's why she just broke down, because she's like, I don't know what to say. I'm not lying. I don't think we're friends. And that's a hard thing to say.
But she's a big reason why she made it seem like Alayah made her lie and like it was this bad thing. It's one thing if you're not really friends, but it's another thing to smile. The other girl pointed out, I forget who it was, that they held hands at the rose ceremony, and she acted like that's two-faced. I'm sorry, it is. Like,
she definitely got caught being fake. I agree with you on that. I think she got caught being fake multiple times.
But that's the main reason people don't like Alayah, and Victoria's doing the same thing. So I think it's a bit hypocritical. They're both kind of bad in their own ways and good in their own ways. I think Victoria P is so sweet, but this was shady. But you know what?
I'm sorry, what is Alayah good at? I'm trying, because I try to be devil's advocate for all of them. What do you like about Alayah? Because I haven't found it.
But
past grandma letter, I don't know what to like about her.
Well, that was great, but the thing is, I think her and Peter actually have a connection. I think you can't fake chemistry.
So you do like them together?
Well, I don't, listen, like right now, even though I have my thoughts about Victoria F, I saw clear chemistry on last night's episode between them because of them like joking back and forth and talking about kids.
Right.
That was cute. But with girls he actually has chemistry with, there's something between him and Alayah, there is. Otherwise, he wouldn't have kept her. It's too much of a problem,
Yeah, I mean, he sees the chemistry.
Exactly. So I think that they have chemistry there. Here's the thing. I don't think she did anything that bad that would make us hate her. Like,
No, she definitely hasn't had a villain moment. I just, like, my gut doesn't love her, and I'm trying to, like, keep it open, but I, for some reason, like, gut instinct don't like her. But you're right. She hasn't had like I'm gonna walk into the room and annihilate someone, scream at them, like do something super villainous. It's all been like shady, like vibe stuff.
But I don't know. I think what we need to get into is why everyone doesn't like her, because I'm still confused about it. You probably are, because I just don't think anything was that bad.
It's confusing.
So we're gonna break it down for you why everyone doesn't like Alayah. Welcome back to another Whiteboard Breakdown. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at why literally everyone hates Alayah.
Why?
Why? Well, we're about to tell you why, based off of what we learned on the show. It all started with our good friend,
Sydney.
Sydney.
Let's put her over here.
We had to remember her name because they don't mention her that much in the show, but we did look it up. Sydney.
Sydney.
Sydney had some things to say about Alayah to
Peter.
Peter. What did Sydney have to say about Alayah to Peter?
I honestly don't know. She has a vibe. She's fake.
She's fake.
She's fake.
She plays it up for the camera.
She plays it up for the cameras.
Yes,
There it is.
yes.
She plays it up for the cameras, which apparently is a criminal offense.
Yeah, that's very bad and you're not there for the right reasons. According to
Sydney.
So basically, I don't know if you guys remember, we got some like security cam footage
Right.
from that episode when
Right.
Sydney revealed that she hates Alayah's guts. And in that footage, Alayah's clearly drunk, wearing Peter's hat. She does seem to be a little bit different than she is on camera. Alayah tells Peter, Peter's like, oh man, and then he basically talks to several other girls in the house who aren't saying that Alayah's a bad person, they just say, yeah, I guess she plays it up for the cameras. This part is this makes the least amount of sense of
Yeah.
all the points we're gonna make, but
It's
basically, Sydney, she just hates
She
her,
just
okay?
doesn't like her.
She doesn't like the
She
girl.
doesn't like her.
Not into
She
pageant
doesn't-
girls.
She doesn't want to share her boyfriend with the pageant girl. She
Surprise.
doesn't like her.
Then someone else comes into play, someone more trustworthy than Sydney, and that is Victoria P.
Victoria P.
I know there's too many Victorias, it's fine. Pretty much has Peter's heart won over. So whatever
Wrapped
she
around his
says, really, whatever she says goes. I guess her and Alayah went to pageants together and knew each other collectively for like 3 hours. They spent like 3 hours together. Doesn't seem like she likes her, doesn't blatantly say she doesn't like her, but she tells Peter that Alayah told Victoria to lie to producers like
Oh, our
Rachel.
girl Rachel.
and tell them that they did not know each other beforehand.
Why?
Because, according to Victoria P, no idea. To be manipulative.
She didn't know why.
Didn't know. According to Alayah,
According to Alayah, it was so that they wouldn't get disqualified, which we found fishy.
yeah, very fishy.
Weird. Alayah's answer, to give Victoria P credit, Alayah's defense of why she wanted to lie seemed bizarre, right?
Even
Just
her
bizarre.
response, the way she was like, because she stared for maybe like 15 seconds, like, you know? So a little bit fishy. We'll give Victoria P that.
So all of this, Sydney, Victoria P, Peter's investigation with the other girls, Alayah's weird response, I would say had us all pretty ready to see Alayah leave last week.
Yes, which she did for a few days. Peter sent her home, immediately goes back, I say backstage, whatever, off camera, but like still on camera, and is like, I think I'm gonna regret this, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, Alayah comes back this episode, as we know.
Because you know who's smart?
Rachel.
The producer, Rachel.
Yeah,
Rachel.
whoever convinced Alayah that she'd look better coming back on screen, probably Rachel, to give us more drama, deserves another raise.
Another race.
So, Alayah comes back. You know who's upset about it?
Everyone.
Everyone, except
Oh yeah! Look
a
who had a
shocking
good moment.
turn of events. Kelsey is the only girl who tells Peter on the one-on-one that he needs to complete his journey and figure out who's right for
Kelsey
him.
was cool with it.
Kelsey was so chill.
Take that champagne away, and that
Yeah.
girl's pretty level-headed.
She's chill. I would hang with her. I would hang with Kelsey on one-on-one dates. Moving forward, all the girls are pissed. Every single one of them. Especially because when Alayah comes back, do you know what she has access to? The internet. Do you know what she finds out, Fiona? That Victoria F dated someone before Peter that was famous.
Because the internet knows all.
Because the internet knew, maybe Reality Steve knew, we don't know.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think we need to take 1 second to acknowledge the fact that when she walked in, not only were the girls upset to see her,
Oh, very upset.
but they were mainly upset about their time. I
Please.
don't know if they would put a price on it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she came back to threaten their time more than anything is a criminal offense that cannot be forgiven. Like that's it for her.
Especially after having to play football all day.
Yeah.
Do these Instagram model influencers want to play football?
No.
So don't they deserve a little more time with Peter after playing said football game?
And getting bruised?
Bruised!
Come on.
That ruins their look on camera.
Anyways,
moving forward. Alayah says the hot goss, which is, that's short for gossip, which is that Victoria F dated Chase Rice before the show. That's all she said. It seemed kind of harmless. She was like, guess what I found out, guys? Hey, friends, I know you're in a bubble, but I wasn't for 5 minutes. And so Chase, Victoria, drama got out to everyone. And you know who wasn't happy about it?
Victoria F.
Victoria F, not happy about it.
She showed another side in that hotel room with that glass of wine. She was not happy.
Not happy. And then she threatened Alayah that she was going to use some choice words with Peter. This ended up affecting Peter's relationship with Victoria P. Because she was not happy that once again, Peter made two girls confront each other about drama that they confided in him about. So it's just, why does everyone hate Alayah?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh no. Okay, now that we know why everyone doesn't like Alayah, let's get into the other one-on-one of the night, which was with Kelsey. To be honest, this was a blur to me. It was very sweet. Maybe it was because it was after 9 p.m. at this point and I was tired. It was cute. It was nice.
Fine.
It
was fine.
It's like, okay, did you, I don't know, there's not much to say about it. I think she opened up about her past. It was a vulnerable moment.
That
I felt
was
for
sweet.
her.
Yes, I don't want to discount that. She did really open up. The story she told was heartbreaking.
Is it bad that Kelsey's kind of tainted in my mind because of everything that's like all of that petty drama with Champagne Gate? Like it's hard for me to look past that. Kelsey.
I wasn't excited to see her with him.
I wasn't excited.
I just felt like their date went fine. She seemed happy. He seemed to enjoy it. One of them said something about seeing the other one's heart and the shape of their heart.
As per usual.
Like, it was fine.
The one thing I will say is I appreciated the fact that Kelsey didn't mind that he brought Alayah back. I thought that was super sweet and understanding because it's Peter's journey and he can do whatever the hell he wants at the end of the day.
The one thing I thought in the moment was I was impressed with it. I agree. I mean, to a point, I get that it's hard in the moment for the girls in the room and all that jazz to have her walk in and steal their time because everyone's dying for time. But do you really want him? What she said I thought was very smart. Do you really want him at the end of this questioning a connection he had with a girl that he could have just figured out whether he liked her or not? Because you don't want him to have that. I really did appreciate that. Although, perhaps I'm judging her too harshly. I did wonder, had it not been 30 seconds into their one-on-one when she finally had him, if she would have been as level-headed about it? If she'd been in the date situation when everyone was angry, would we have seen the same thing?
I think it would have depended whether or not she has had alcohol in her system, personally, knowing Kelsey. But you guys, I mean, that's pretty much, what else can we say about that date?
Yeah,
it was cute, whatever. I don't think she's gonna be a front runner, but it was sweet.
It was fine.
Moving on to, I think, my favorite segment, the more serious segment that we do here on our weekly recap, which is Deep Thoughts on Dumb Quotes. Tonight's dumb quote comes from The Bachelor, Peter Weber. Oh, Peter. This quote may not even seem dumb to you when I read it, but we will explain why it is. Going into the rose ceremony in his little red car, he said, and I quote, "Going into my 4th rose ceremony, and I feel good going into tonight. This has been a really good week for me." This is a dumb quote because it's seconds before all of the girls at the rose ceremony attack him with their thoughts on how he's been a bad bachelor.
With their thoughts on his good week.
Yep, and according to them, not a great week. Oh, Peter, he just doesn't know.
The reason I say this is dumb is because how could you not know that this has not been your week? How could he not know? First of all, again, not to dive back into the Victoria F stuff, but really, was it that good of a week for you to awkwardly meet a country music artist that you definitely liked and were excited about and then find out that one of your 10,000 girlfriends was dating? Was that a good time? No!
According to Peter, it was. But
I mean,
Peter's
I guess that one could be they had such a good time together. He looked past it and outweighed it, and so he still had a good week. Okay, fine. But did you really think the Alayah stuff went over well? My God, Peter.
He's just a bit oblivious. I mean, when he went to talk to Victoria P about it at the end, that was like honestly tough to watch. First of all, I love Victoria P because she goes, I don't even want to talk to you right now. And he's like, oh, okay, we don't have to talk now. She's like, no, yes, I'll talk to you. I want to talk to you.
And then he was like, sit down. And she was like, I can't even sit.
And then she says, here's the thing. Peter, what we're learning, doesn't understand women. When Victoria said, I don't even want to talk to you right now, she wanted you to go, no, please, let's talk about this.
Right.
But he didn't, and she was like, oh, Peter.
And instead of telling her, sit down, meaning relax, calm down, he should have said, I understand you're upset. I want to hear what you have to say.
He's learning. He's learning.
He'll get there.
Well, honestly, we'll see what happens next week. But before we wrap things up, you guys, let's get into some predictions. What do you think is going to happen with this Alayah drama? Obviously, now he's like more confused than ever, even though he just gave her a rose. Do you think that he's going to take it back again? Because we didn't see her really in the next promo, like for their next destination. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below, because at this point, with the amount of back and forth with Peter, who knows what he'll do next. But before you go, make sure to ring the bell and hit that subscribe button so you can watch our Bachelor weekly recap every week.
And when you're done with all that, click right over here for another new video.
And as always, I'm your host, Renee Ariel. You can follow me on socials at Renee Ariel.
And I'm Fiona Zaring. You can follow me on socials at Fiona Zaring, and we'll see you guys next time.